What about you, Jessie? What's your question for Kristin?
So going back to the whole pyramid,
Yeah.
some of us are human garbage disposal. And so I just want to know, for kind of like the normal person, like the person that's not really like health conscious, but they kind of want to get into it.
Yeah.
What's a good thing that you can add or take away from your diet that kind of starts to build that foundation? That's like an easy thing that like anyone can just like slowly integrate it, and then it just helps a little bit.
Yeah. So again, we're talking about kind of general health, right?
Yeah.
My thing, so 2 parts. I have one thing to remove and I have a category of things to add. So remove sugar. Remove sugar.
I just had this like
Got it
gut feeling.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the S word for sure.
Like processed or like honey as well?
No, processed.
processed.
Okay, I was like,
Okay, that like lessens the blow like
No,
a little bit.
fruit,
but still.
honey, maple syrup, all these things have their place. They're awesome.
But that
They have
refined
sugar,
man-made sugar.
candies, pastries, cookies,
It's in
treats.
everything.
Everything
It's in salad
everyone loves.
dressings.
It's everywhere.
It's in barbecue sauces.
I have a
That's why
question.
they're so good.
Where does coconut sugar fall in there?
Yeah.
Coconut sugar is pretty much still sugar.
What about cane sugar?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
sugar.
so they're just
BSing,
with us.
refreshing with us, that's for
us.
sure. It's just in a rock instead.
oh god.
Healthy rock.
Just take the whole cane.
It's a rock.
This is
from
where
the
the like, weird online issue comes up where you know
It's so overwhelming.
So much sugar talk. Yeah.
sugar talk, but then
Yeah.
also people are being like, "Hey, agave is this great thing
What
that
do you think of agave?
I don't recommend it.
Okay.
I don't.
Interesting.
It's essentially
controversy.
it's different, but it's very similar to high fructose corn syrup.
Really? Damn.
That's gross.
Good to know.
So honey,
bad.
maple syrup.
Yeah, fruit-based sugars. I
dates.
love dates. I have
Dates,
dates almost
yeah.
every day because I love that
That's
sweetness,
sugary.
and Chinese medicine likes it too. So I'm like, okay, bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sugar, number one thing to get rid of, and that can look like starting to stop grabbing those cookies after dinner, or
I literally had a cookie before we filmed.
Yeah.
Saw that.
Only oh, did you catch me? I thought only Jessie saw me.
I almost asked you for a bite. That's why.
So I'm sorry.
That's
It's,
okay.
You know, in the winter, my sweets, it's not to say I eat cookies all the time, but
Yeah.
like my mom just had given me shortbread
Oh, yeah.
cookies, and
And
I was
I-
like, shortbread's the
What about stevia?
Yeah.
Stevia, so
that's a
yeah,
good one,
stevia
too.
and xylitol generally for most people work pretty well as a
Okay.
sweetener, as a replacement. So yeah, that's fine. Obviously don't love the artificial sweeteners like aspartame or sucralose.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't think those are good for you, but yeah, the stevia, xylitol, that kind of thing, honey, maple syrup, and then sugar in moderation. I'm real. I'm a person.
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
eat perfect. You guys
Yeah.
heard what I had for breakfast. So
Exclusive information that doesn't leave the circle.
So yeah, everything in moderation. I think sugar should be treated like a treat, as it was meant to be treated.
For sure, yeah.
Wherein you
Not like
are
a daily part of
Oh
every
my
meal.
God, yeah.
It is
Yeah.
not hard to have sugar
In every single meal.
in every meal
Yeah.
and not know it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
without
Right?
choosing to be like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have sugar specifically in this meal. Yeah,
it's probably already in
It's
there
already
if you're
there.
using a prepackaged sauce or
Yes.
food-based item.
Yeah.
But then it's really annoying.
I know.
Yeah.
Because then you read the nutrition guide and it says 23 grams of sugar. But like, for instance, on some protein bars, when you're reading that, it's actually dates and some fruit that is making up the protein bar.
Yeah.
The
The sugar.
sugar. So it's like, why don't they separate that?
I know. So then a good thing
True.
to look at for those kinds of instances would be, is there fiber content here? Is this, like for a Lara bar, for example,
Right.
it's date-based. They use dates and cashews in some of their bars, and it's very, very minimal ingredients. So checking that fiber content, you'll be able to tell like a lot of that sugar
Yeah.
from the dates is also coming with some fiber.
Yeah.
That fiber is going to slow down that blood sugar response.
Right.
So that's a much better,
Okay.
more wholesome way to eat
Yeah.
sugars, which is why I eat dates too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to remove, sugar.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then the thing to add, the category of foods to add, is fermented foods. So this is
Oh, yeah.
what I've been really kind of honing in on this lately with patients, and I find a lot of people are so focused on the probiotics,
Yeah.
but it's expensive to take a probiotic for a long period of time. I don't like taking supplements if I don't need to, so I'm not going to ask somebody to do that as well unless they really need to.
Yeah.
Prebiotics and fermented foods are sort of this new, again, kind of a trend online right now, but because they are beneficial and they help to feed that good bacteria that you've planted in your body using a probiotic.
Yeah.
So things like kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha,
Kombucha.
miso soup. I think all of those sort of, again, fermented foods, probably from other cultures, is a great thing to incorporate more of. I've been eating
get on board
pickled
with that.
turnips.
I like
They're
pickled things.
Yeah.
Are pickles?
Oh, I did.
Oh,
Done.
No problem.
I was like, I'm healthy as a horse. Been eating all the damn pickles. I knew you were going there. Healthy as a horse.
I do love kombucha, but a lot of them have become juice-like now.
Yeah.
They're so
Sugar.
sweet.
Yeah.
There's certain brands that have gotten like
Yeah.
sued
Too much.
because of
Yeah.
the fact that they haven't put in they've been putting in a lot of fruit juice instead of not writing
I
that
didn't-
on
Defeats the
their
purpose.
ingredients.
I didn't even notice. There was a pack. I was with my friend, and she's, I guess, more mindful about ingredient lists, which I should be with allergies. But anyway, there was a display, and there were 2 different ingredient types, but they were identical packaging. Nothing said anything differently, and one had 4 grams of sugar, and the other one had 12 grams of sugar. And they had added kiwi juice to one of them, but nothing said, oh, like new flavor, nothing.
Yeah.
You actually have to read the ingredients.
You do. That's the world we live in now.
It's true.
Like
Because they're just changing,
trust
and
things
they're
at
like,
face
oh,
value.
new smooth taste. Well, it's because there's new ingredients.
Yeah, something changed.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be smooth. I don't think, right? Like you're not supposed
Fermented
to
foods are not supposed to be
chug
smooth.
kimchi down.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Right?
There's
Or sauerkraut.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I always bring it back to patients too. Well, remember when we didn't have refrigeration?
Yeah.
What did we eat? Right?
Yeah.
We didn't eat cold pressed juices. Sorry, I keep talking about that, but
I know.
we didn't.
But it's true.
But
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't.
true.
We didn't have that. We used to eat things that were picked that day, or killed that day, or fermented. Right through the winter time, anyway. So let's get back to that traditional seasonal eating. That's so I think more fermented foods. Yeah.
I like that.
I like that advice too. Yeah.
I've heard rumors about like leaky gut and how sometimes it's not good to have kombucha or certain fermented foods when you have leaky gut. Is that true?
Yeah, so there can be specific health instances. I
Okay.
can think of leaky gut for sure. So leaky gut basically is when the brush border of your intestinal tract, so you have a really nice mucus membrane. Let's just get super nerdy all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
I'm into it. Yeah, I like it.
You have a really nice mucousy layer in your intestine, and it has little brush border, like finger-like projections.
Yeah.
And leaky gut is when all of those projections are leaky and things are doing it. It's basically food particles and bacteria are doing things they're not supposed to be doing. So that's leaky gut. So to speak to that, yeah, when you put in some fermented foods or other types of bacteria, there is a risk that that could exacerbate that situation. Another situation would be SIBO, which I treat in practice. Again, the digestive focus. I see these patients. Small intestine bacterial overgrowth is SIBO. So it's way too much bacteria in a small intestine. So basically, if you have some fairly specific health conditions, probably those foods aren't ideal for you at that time, but it could be that later on in your healing health journey that would be a really great addition.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of, that's where, working with somebody and having patient-specific treatment plans is really of benefit and should be the health approach that we take.
Definitely.
Kind of as a society, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be specific to your body and what you have going on.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Based on a professional, not the internet.
Yeah.
Not based on
That's what's hard. Yeah.
It is.
Tell me
Yeah.
about
Is leaky gut as common as everyone's kind of posting about it on social media?
It's
or-
pretty common.
That's the first time I heard. I pictured something totally different.
Yeah.
I was like,
Like a bathroom problem?
100%.
Too.
Like when I heard
It says
leaky
leaky.
anything, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. I know the name
really
is.
sucks.
It's
For a
also
diaper.
called intestinal permeability.
Well, yeah, I'm like, it sounds like some sort of like IBS symptomatic.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
One of
So
the-
I'm like, something's leaking. Like
Yeah.
that's terrible.
There's so like
Am I really the only one that thought that?
No, I thought
Okay.
we were leaking.
I took it. Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not leaking yet, so I guess
Stay tuned.
You and I know leaky gut.
I want to research, but now I don't want to research a bunch of BS on the internet now, but I am very intrigued by this.
Yeah,
leaky
it's
gut.
common.
Yeah.
I see it a lot.
Okay.
You
And is it caused by just bad diet, basically?
It can be, yeah. It could be caused by gluten. Oh, here's another hot topic: gluten.
Yeah.
Gluten can cause intestinal. It's also leaky gut is also called intestinal permeability. So it's just that permeable membrane, right? Things are getting through that are not supposed to be getting through.
Yeah.
Gluten can cause that. Stress can cause that. Intense exercise is known to cause that. There's studies about that in marathoners. Candida albicans is a type of yeast that can disrupt the internal environment and cause leaky gut too. So good bacteria generally does not cause that, but bad bacteria or opportunistic types of bacteria can cause that as well. Okay. So yeah, it's pretty common because there are a number of ways that it can develop.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And you see so many people, well, there's so much research being done on like autoimmune disorders and certain like neurological issues that could stem from gut health as well. And nothing's like very hard proven yet, but it's so interesting to see how many people have digestive issues who also have like autism or who also have MS or rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a growing body of evidence for autoimmunity and this digestive imbalance, essentially. So to keep it in really simple terms. But I mean, we know that autoimmune conditions like Guillain-Barré, which is more neurological in its effect, is brought on by typically an infection. Yeah. So that can be either a gastrointestinal infection or a respiratory infection. We know that's very well documented. So definitely infections, whether, like I said, whether it be GI or otherwise, can trigger these pretty severe health conditions. So yeah, and diseases, not great.
No.
Not great. So yeah, eat fermented foods.
Check.
What did we learn?
Pickles.
Yeah. I love that.
We might have time for one more question, and then we have a question from one of our viewers as well.
Yeah.
If you ladies have a final question.
Yeah, I'll ask mine. We kind of touched on it. Mine was more, we're in the latter half of winter season. Everybody's still sick. Christmas is over, so a lot of stress is gone, but then I feel like once you, I don't know about you guys, but when I have like downtime finally, that's when my body's like, this is a great time for you to be sick. How are we going to continue to get through January and February sickness without the spirit of Christmas kind of keeping us alive and going? And yeah, we touched on it a bit. We talked about bacterial versus viral. Viral is viral. It sucks. It is what it is. You kind of have to power through it. But any, just again, basic tips or tricks for us to kind of keep our immune systems up.
Boosted, I think so. We kind of touched on elderberry. Elderberry was really great. So there's syrup, there's teas. Cheryl loves this.
There's like endorsing. I love it.
Syrup.
Syrup, yeah.
Sponsored.
Elderberry is a great thing. We talked about seasonal eating. That's another great tool for immunity. Having your vitamin D level checked is another really great thing
That's a good one.
A lot of people don't think about, but vitamin D is a vitamin that's very beneficial, needed for the immune system.
Yeah.
And because it is dark outside at 5 p.m. nowadays, people are not getting sunlight. We are totally covered, so your vitamin D in Canada, in Ontario, is like nothing in the wintertime.
Can I interject those seasonal lights? I don't know what the proper term, is there a proper term for what
There's,
you
I know what you mean.
I don't know if they have like a one title or if it's like brand names, but how do you feel about those?
I think they're great for people that have seasonal affective disorder.
Yes.
Yeah, so it can be very beneficial for those
For
people.
treating just that.
Yeah, and I mean, if your mood is affected by the lack of sunlight, then you probably have seasonal affective disorder, but you might also have low vitamin D.
Right.
Or, there could be something else going on too. But I think those can be really helpful for
Do
people.
you need any other nutrients to help absorb the vitamin D?
Oh,
Vitamin D, good question. Vitamin D is fat soluble. So that means that it is best absorbed when eaten with a fatty meal, if we're talking about supplementation.
Okay, yeah.
So vitamin D is best absorbed either in fat or with fat. So often when I will recommend to patients take vitamin D, I'll just get them to take it in a fat-soluble form. So what that means is that vitamin D is emulsified, it's kind of mixed up with some other fats like olive oil, for example.
Are we thinking like drops?
Yeah,
I've
those
done
are
the drops
droppers.
before, so just put some drops in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's great.
fats, okay.
Or if
That's
you're
good to
taking
know.
tablets, then you need to take that tablet with a meal that has some healthy fats in
Like
it.
avocado.
Yeah.
Or,
Eggs, avocado,
Yeah.
olive oil, walnuts, all those.
Okay.
Yeah, bone broth. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Are
Yeah.
there
Thank
foods
you.
that have
That's a
vitamin
great
D in them?
question. Yeah.
Not really, no, not
Yeah, that's
really,
the
not that I
tricky
can
thing.
think
It's
of.
really just
So
like
you do like to
sunlight
just
and
eat,
supplements.
yeah.
Pretty much sunlight or supplement. Yeah, with other vitamins, yeah, we can. There's food sources for sure, but
Right,
vitamin
yeah.
D, no. It's sunlight or.
Okay, so we're all going to Mexico.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Love
I think
that.
that's pretty. I was thinking vitamin C too. That's another
Yes.
great one. That's
Yeah.
very traditional. Most people have that in their household.
Yep.
Vitamin C can be really great at boosting the immune system. So if you are starting to feel
Yeah,
something coming on
for sure.
or it's lingering, then vitamin C, hit
Yep.
that up. And I'll have some people take vitamin C, like every hour on the hour, basically until they
Those
get
tablets are good. They're
Yeah.
like
Oh.
candy.
until they get the REMS, basically.
Oh my god. I one time sat there and I just like ate them while I was watching TV and I was like, I literally just ate like 9 of these.
They're not chips.
Nothing happened. I lived to tell the story.
Yeah, good.
I was like, wait, is this bad?
No,
guess
so
I'll
vitamin
find
C
out.
is water soluble, so it's
It's
nice
all
and
good.
safe. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just
Oh,
eat it
wow.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you could do something like orange juice, apple cider,
Yeah.
that kind of thing as well.
No sugar added.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a
Squeeze that
question.
orange.
I don't know if this is a silly question. Does heating up apple cider affect vitamin C, or does it just stay the same?
Does it change this?
I don't know.
We need a chem. Is that a chemist question?
That would be
Science is
that
not
would be
my
an apple
area of
cider vinegar
expertise.
expert question. I assume that heating it up. Yeah, I don't
Interesting.
know. Normally, when you heat up anything, keeping a lid on it is going to be the best idea, right? Because some of those phytochemicals will evaporate. With teas, for example, I always get people to put a lid on their tea so that things don't evaporate out. Does cider have the same effect? I'm not sure. I've
Interesting.
never really studied it
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for the heat
Yeah.
component. Cool. Yeah, but that's another great tool too. A lot of people forget about apple cider vinegar. That's a really great, a great thing
It's
to.
all, I used to shoot it. Like
Yeah.
I used to do it every morning, and I would. It's like I was at a bar. Like I had
Yeah,
my
it
orange
does.
juice, and I took a sip. I threw it back, and I would chase it, and I would make this face for like 30 seconds. Then I'd be like, nailed it. It tastes so bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's awful, but I felt really
Good.
like I feel like my digestive.
It's very
was just,
helpful for
yeah.
the
It was on
system.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another good one for winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just gotta pump yourself up for it. That's all.
Yep.
So we have a question from one of our viewers. Would you like to read it out? Sorry. Carol.
Yeah, so this is from at A Rose Blossoms. Follow them. So A Rose Blossoms asked, can I eat anything I want with intermittent fasting?
Okay, so we'll touch on intermittent fasting because everyone doesn't know what that is. So
Yeah.
intermittent fasting is a type of dieting. When I say that, it doesn't mean that you're doing it to lose weight. You're just doing it as the way that your eating pattern is. So intermittent fasting basically means that intermittently you are in a fasting state. So let's break that down again. So what essentially your body is going to be fasting for a set number of hours of the day, and then throughout the rest of the day, you're eating. That's when you're in your fed state. So typically that looks like a 12 to 16 hour fast for most people, where they're stopping dinner at 8 p.m. And then they're not eating again until the next.
Oh, okay,
lunch.
overnight.
Oh,
Not like
my
all
math,
day.
Yeah, I had 24 hours in my head. I was like, wait, what?
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay, 12.
no, yeah. Some
Yes.
people will do a full 24 hours. That's pretty extreme. I don't recommend that. You need to eat food.
yeah.
And
I would
truthfully,
be a very
the
miserable person.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't.
you-
Yeah, I wouldn't live
wouldn't
to
be
tell
good.
the tale.
Yeah. So yeah, that's intermittent fasting. And then the question was, can I eat anything during those eating hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I go back to my I mean, some people will because they're like holding back on anything, and we'll
we have an uninvited audience. It was
Like
bound
the
to
fresh
happen.
five, but the boy version out there. Puffy coat.
It was like fresh PH5.
We have a dance battle? Yeah.
I'm embarrassed, just kind of watching.
They want to know about fasting.
they do.
So
They're so interested.
they heard
They're
you
ear
were
to the
talking
door.
about it. Yes.
So yeah, no, you can't. You can't
Yeah.
eat anything. You need to maintain those healthy boundaries. Of course,
Yeah.
your eating is going to be in 8 hours, so you kind of have to pack it in order to get your caloric intake, right? So you do have to eat pretty frequently, fairly full meals to get the right nutrition, but that doesn't mean doing burgers and French fries and crap all the time.
Yeah.
I would still want someone to eat healthy, wholesome food.
For sure.
But just only in 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's really great for
That's
weight loss.
very-
It's very helpful for weight loss.
Yeah?
It's helpful. So, like, when you say it's helpful for weight loss, is it a healthy way to lose weight? Is it a sustainable way to lose weight? Because that's what I don't understand is why
Yeah.
people do things to lose weight that aren't sustainable.
Or is it, like,
because then
short-term
you're-
effective?
Are
Yeah.
you not going to just gain it back? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, are you going to really do the intermittent fasting for the rest of your life?
No.
Or
No.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't think that people would want to. It's really restrictive.
Yeah.
As far as a sustainable weight loss method, typically when I have patients introduce intermittent fasting, they're doing it 1 or 2 days a week. So if they're not
Okay.
doing it every day, that's not what everybody does.
Right,
People
right.
online will be telling you that they're doing intermittent fasting and they're doing this every day. I think that is only really good for somebody who is very healthy but needs to fine tune their weight.
Yeah.
If there is any amount of stress or any amount of insomnia or any amount of digestive issues, eating in that pattern where you're restricting every day is going to be not something that your body is going to love. So no, I don't think it's
It would
sustainable.
mess with your mind
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're so there's a lot
and
of
your social life.
exactly.
Which is part of being healthy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So
You kind of
For
would
sure.
kind of
Good
have
point.
to not keep to yourself, but implement that schedule. So
be
if someone's
pretty-
like, let's go out at this time, you're like, ooh, I'm not
Well,
eating
I'm
right
not
now.
eating,
Yeah.
so-
You don't want to be that person
time.
sitting at the table,
Yeah,
just
staring
sipping
at
water.
everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
being cranky.
Well, I would be like, I should not be seeing friends right now because I am hangry.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
great right now.
Yeah.
Hangry is a thing.
I very much experienced that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think
For
it's
sure.
time we wrap up our episode.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being with us.
I learned so much.
That was
That was more knowledge than like
So
4
much.
years of
Yeah.
high school
Yeah.
science. Like, I learned more.
Come for an appointment sometime.
I learned more.
Definitely will.
I like that. Well
Can
done.
nerd out on you.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
you can find us on hashtag #AskTheFresh. That's our new hashtag that we're implementing for all of 2019. And we will be trying to interview one professional at least per month and asking that expert what they know and tips and tricks about their respective field. So obviously our guest for the past 2 episodes was Kristin. So why don't you tell our viewers where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, sure.
And yeah.
Thanks for having me. Everything I think is just Dr. Kristin Spark. So I have an Instagram account that I actively post to, and you get free health information.
Yay.
Lots of nerdy topics
great.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just at Dr. Kristin Spark. I also have a Facebook page that is a little less active, but still there for those of us on Facebook. That's Dr. Kristin Spark. And then I have a website as well, which has all of my booking links and my clinic links, as well as my blog. I do post on my own blog, and it's very health focused information, and that's www.kristinspark.com.
How'd you get all those domains? God, you did. That's unreal.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Kristen.
See you
I
next
feel
week.
healthier already.
Yeah, right. Kombucha, like I remember the first time I had kombucha, I was
Yeah.
like, what is this slimy stuff?
I know.
Yeah. But like, it grows on you.
You hardly notice.
Literally.
It.